You posted this and you said, Directories already killed lead gen agencies. They just don't know it yet. Directories have driven $5 million plus to one of my businesses alone. That's freaking mind blowing. Everybody's talking about directories right now. Anybody could throw up a directory, but I haven't seen the second half of it, which is how do you monetize it? So I have to ask you, are they really dead or is this just for social media? Okay, David Yeager, super excited to talk to you. Entrepreneur, digital agency, you're in healthcare, you and your wife own a practice for mental health care. But something caught my eye the other day on Twitter that I just had to talk to you about. You posted this and you said, Directories already killed lead gen agencies. They just don't know it yet. Directories have driven $5 million plus to one of my businesses alone. That's freaking mind blowing because everybody's talking about directories right now. And oh, anybody could throw up a directory, blah, blah, blah. But I haven't seen the second half of it, which is how do you monetize it? And so when I saw that you said directories have already driven $5 million to one of my businesses, I knew I had to talk to you. And then you go on to finish the post with a comparison of agencies and directories. So an agency, you have to convince one client at a time to pay you $5,000 a month. A directory, you have 12,000 businesses fighting to claim their profile. An agency, you beg for attention. Directory, they beg you for rankings. An agency, hey, we'll get you leads. Directory, pay us or your competitor will. The game has changed. Most are playing checkers still. So that was your post. I have to ask you, are they really dead or is this just for social media?
No, I think that being in the agency world and quite frankly, not enjoying it, I've been on a journey of it, you're commoditized. And it's only going to get worse with AI. It's the ability to knock out so much. Really, really not, for the right agencies, it'll turn them into superpowers. And we definitely have superpowers. But at the end of the day, that value prop is lessened when when you just drop AI into any entry level person with processes or even without the person behind the wheel, and all of a sudden, the stuff gets done.
So let's level set this for people who are listening. I think most people have seen oh, you could spin up a directory. And I think most people know, oh, an agency is a business that anybody could spin up. So we have these two things, directories and agencies. Can we just define really quickly, what do we mean when we talk about directory and what do we mean when we talk about lead gen agency?
There are many different types of marketing agencies, different models, but any of those, for the most part, most of those models are commoditized. It's very, very, whether you're paid on performance, whether you're selling SEO or you're selling Google ads, which I do, Facebook ads also do, website design development, those are all agents. That's what I would call agencies. And even lead gen agencies, I sell leads on performance in some verticals. And that also, it's a very challenging environment. Again, if you're successful, you can be wildly successful, and there are very many wildly successful people. So that's the agency side. The directory side is basically owning your own brand and being able to create your own. It takes a tech environment. You could just, hey, I'm gonna, get a directory and find one of these off-the-shelf softwares and build something. And I've done that before. I've never really been able to turn it into a brand, and I never really loved it because it was just really hard to build and it didn't feel like I was adding value. Now with the AI side, I'm seeing a massive opportunity with using that to build your own brand.
Help me understand. And my understanding of directories is you say, oh, pickleball courts. I'm going to create a directory of pickleball courts. And it's Yelp meets Craigslist, where, okay, here are different businesses that offer pickleball courts. You can go and search and you'll find it and it'll be geo-fenced, yada, yada, yada. And then the agencies I understand, because that's a business. I outsource my marketing essentially to an agency, and the agency goes and then generates leads for me, and hopefully I get business. Both of those can produce business results, but I'm having a hard time understand why have directories killed lead gen agencies? Are you saying every company should have their own directory?
What I'm saying is that an agency is a rat race. It's only until you're the next cool thing, only until the next space. And there's downward marketing pressure on the AI side. Whereas directories, you own the brand. And if any vertical where there are directories that are adding a massive amount of traffic or value, they kill it. There's so many different models. And at the end of the day, they own the brand, they own the customer. And when they own the customer, they're never going away.
In the post, you said, one of my businesses has already driven $5 million alone from a directory. You may not be able to share because this might be a client of yours, but can you give me in this example?
We run a psychotherapy practice, and 90% of our leads come from one directory. I have my SEO is garbage. My like relationships with payers, like not really there. Like it's literally one thing, and we've got other traffic channels, but the volume that we've gotten has built our practice. And again, we have 20 clinicians. We have millions and millions of
Do you
dollars.
own the directory?
So no, that's the thing is I'm the client and I pay it and it's a no-brainer. It is the dumbest, stupidest. There's no better ROI. I remember like I have a CFO who does work or whatever, fractional CFO slash bookkeeping company, and he has a whole bunch of behavioral health companies that they do the numbers for. So I get to benchmark my performance against other behavioral health companies. And he was like, "Hey, so what's your CAC?" And I'm like, "I'm zero."
Hey, I don't know if you remember this, but when we started this podcast, we entered into a social contract. I would spend time, energy, and money producing this podcast, interviewing these individuals, and giving you insights into how to build, buy, start, grow your business. And you would like, subscribe, and leave me 5-star review. Now, out of that, we both get to talk to really cool people and hear really cool insights. We both get a ton of value. But I just want to help you keep your word. So would you do me a favor? Will you go leave a 5-star review for me on Apple or Spotify? It would really help. And if you want, even share this with a friend.
I don't pay CAC. The last time I ran Google Ads was in 2020 for a month. And then my wife got mad at me, turned it all off, and we've been sailing ever since.
Dude, you're kind of blowing my mind because it sounds like an agency could say, hey, look, I specialize in mental health services and I'm going to go and target mental health practices. How would they go and get those practices in the past? They would go out and cold call people like you and your wife. You're like, hey, owner, we'll do digital agency services for you. We'll do pay-per-click. We'll do SEO. We'll do all this other stuff. But like there could be a place where this agency says like, okay, we specialize in mental health services. Let's build a directory. And the directory will not only be a lead gen for the patients, but it will also be a lead gen for like these companies to come after us.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant model, dude. Oh, so that's why you're saying, okay, directories are killing lead gen agencies because it's like, okay, if you can get first to own like one of the best lead gen funnels, these directories, you're kind of staking out your territory. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the company who has this directory, right, that you get the majority of your referrals from, are they a digital agency?
They are a publishing platform that, like a prestigious journal in the space that also has a directory. But there's like, I don't know, it's crazy. There's probably 100 directories in the psychotherapy world. And like the top software company has a directory. And it's a massive bolt-on to their business because it's like sign up for our EHR and you get listed in our directory. And our
In
directory
a
is the only
directory.
this is the only way to get in. It's not like I can go sign up. So for me, honestly, there's a part of me that if I knew there was enough traffic there, I'd spend $60 a user a month to have my profiles there. Because you know what? There are other directories that charge $60 a month without the darn EHR.
There would be some lead time, right? Like I'm in home health and hospice. So let's say that I wanted to start a digital agency targeting home health and hospice agencies. I'd have to build out the directory, get to a point where it's generating enough traffic and lead flow to start sending to different agencies in different markets. But then at that point, I'd have a captive audience because I'm sending them business and I have a shoe in, a beachhead into their business where I could do other things for them. I know how long it takes to like build the directory. How long does it take to get it where there's traffic going to it? Because that, for me, that's the missing step is like, okay, anybody can build a directory, but how do you get it so that it's indexed on Google and so that traffic's actually going to it and that it's ranked? That's the part that I'm having a hard time with.
Here's the, I guess, coming from the paid ad side, right? Like for me and my models, when I master a vertical, it starts with the paid ads. So driving traffic is never a problem. The problem is always the client being annoyed, not being able to work the leads properly, having all these complaints. and they have no fear of losing me because it's their brand, their ad account. And, half the time when you're successful enough, they'll take it in-house because they're like, why should I pay him? I'll just do it myself. It was me that was successful anyway. With directories, like you own the brand, so you monopolize, and there's a FOMO there. So there are a lot of traffic channels. Quite honestly, I don't even know how long SEO is going to hang out for. With the whole AI and the transition in, you really have to build a unique content base. Just slapping up a list of vendors or providers does not cut it. So I'm not relying on my short-term
Wait,
plan.
wait, 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 wait. Time out, time out. I'm so sorry. I'm an idiot. I'm a Neanderthal. Hold on. SEO traditionally has been, hey, I'm going to put all of these keywords and articles and backlinks, et cetera, so that I rank high when somebody searches for that in Google. Google's AI has kind of killed that, right? Because you'll search for something now and Google will have an AI answer. And now there's even links in the AI answer that people click through. So you can kind of optimize to get into the AI answers, but the rest of those results that people used to get really hung up on ranking for, it's changed. It's totally changed the dynamic. Are you saying, hey, directories are a buffer against that? Like, hey, if you can get into the right directory or the right network, you're no longer at the
Absolutely.
AI's whims of
Absolutely.
whether or not they answer?
Absolutely. Because there's so many entry points. When you own your own brand versus running as an agency, you can say whatever the heck you want. And all of a sudden, you can start pursuing your own traffic channels. And there's so many, I mean, hang out on X long enough, and there's so many guys going, or gals doing so many innovative, traffic channels that drive a massive amount of volume. As a paid ads person, it's every single commercial keyword gets about 60% of that generally can go to paid ads. If it's a local keyword, localized, like, I don't know, home hospice near me, right? The SEO is pushed down. You've got your paid ads, you've got your Google Maps results, which take out more than they're the number one, like you get 15% of the traffic from the number one listing on the Google Maps side. And the Google Maps side is basically that number one listing gets you more traffic than all three paid ad results put together. Now, that doesn't include LSA.
Really?
Yeah.
So you want to optimize that Google business profile, basically,
Oh,
in order to rank.
heck yeah.
Okay.
One of my AI tools, but that's another conversation. The SEO side, I'm not knocking SEO because SEO is a phenomenal value and it's never going away. It'll change, but it's never going away. And it's seeing the future of it. And I think from that side, building a directory and thinking that you're going to rank on Google for it is not, I'd be scared. That feels to me as if somebody with an investor mindset to you, like that feels like one shaky leg that is going to fall apart pretty quickly, even if you're a very experienced SEO.
Okay. So one of the things we were talking about before the call was like, you can get all these leads, but the question, and you said this just a minute ago, you get all these leads, but the question is, how do you service them? How do you handle them? Do you respond in a timely manner? And especially with directories, it's not exactly a directory, but like Angie's List or Thumbtack or Google LSA are similar to that, where you get a referral and it's like, okay, whoever responds to it first gets the referral. How do small companies, small businesses who don't have the budget for a full-time QSR, or not QSR, what do they call them? CSR. How do they respond to these leads?
It's a fantastic question. I tend to deal with a little bit of the larger client, like the ones doing 1 to 5 mil, but even my tools can work for smaller people also. And basically we talked a little bit about this, but the biggest thing is that especially leads coming in from directories or leads coming in from forms where the user's filling out more information about themselves, what happens is that lead just dies. They never get like 60% of the time, nobody responds to that message until they can get around to it. Until well, now I finally have time. Let me go look at all my leads that I've never responded to. Or they will follow up the next day, which by that time, your user, depending on the traffic channel, is gone. Most of the time, they're just gone.
Because there's friction. Because
Right.
it's like, oh, this is too
Exactly.
hard. I
I
don't want to
don't
fill out
know
the
if this
rest.
person, right. I don't know if this person's legit. I don't know. I don't know not. And that's one of the big things that we win with in our therapy world is we have an instant SMS that goes out and it's generic. In most verticals, I have an AI tool. It's just given the liability in the mental health world. I built the AI responder that personalizes based on their messaging, but it's an instant message, even a generic one that asks for a little bit more information. Ideally, have an AI bot that texts back and forth. People do not pick up phones. People do not respond to emails. They do respond to text. It's just really, really freaking convenient. So you go back and forth via text. And this is one of the reasons why Go High Level or my white label GrowNow.app is so powerful, is because you set up these flows. Again, we just set it up with an AI bot, and we've spent hundreds of hours tweaking it in very competitive verticals. And I'd love to show you that too if we have time.
Is this the framework you were talking about, the 2 by 14?
2 by 14? Yeah. It's a mind-blowing little tool. I was hoping we can get to directories because directories are fun, but the 2 by 14's killer. We basically took all the work that we spent and automated it with AI, like 3 answers, and bam, it knocks out crazy stuff for you.
Well, I mean, directories are cool, and I like directories. It just feels like it's one part of the equation. It's like, okay, cool, you're generating leads, but the next step of the flow is now that you've got the leads, what are you doing with them? It feels like there's less focus on that, which makes sense, right? Like it feels good. Oh, I generated all these leads. But for the business owner, it's like, well, how many of those actually converted into revenue? How many of those actually converted into paying customers? And if you don't have the systems on the back end, it doesn't matter how many leads you're generating. So that's why I get curious about how do you automate the response to these leads so that they end up converting? Like, how do you make your own AI customer service rep?
Absolutely. And I can show that to you in a moment, but I think the more important thing is that when you're an agency, what feeds you is leads. Your own direct business owners, small business owners, large business owner prospects. And I mean, I run paid ads very pretty successfully. I can generate leads in most verticals of business owners, but there's a lot of friction. The directory, honestly, I'm about to just spin up a ton of cold email and go reach out. I have 12,000 providers in my directory list. I'm going to offer, basically a sneaky back end in to open up a conversation and sell them something. And it doesn't make a difference what the
Right.
hell I sell them. Claim your listing. Here, questionnaire. Bam, bam, bam. Do you need help with funding? Are you looking for acquisition? Can we what's your number one challenge? And I can go through, I've built that. Needs a little bit more tweaking. But that right there, how many responses do you think I'm going to get when I say, hey, referrals for X? And it's like, hey, we're running this directory. We've created this listing for you. Maybe I'll cherry pick the ones that have amazing reviews, send it to them first. We'd love to have you claim your listing and customize and blah, blah, blah. Can you go through this question? And then if they respond, send them the link. Hey, claim your listing here. Bam, done. Now it's mandatory. What are the things that they struggle with? Now I have a conversation opener. Great, we've approved your listing. By the way, I noticed X. Would you like to schedule a booked call? Or automate that on the back end. And as soon as they do that, drop a thank you page message with that in there. So it's a sneaky back end in that can open me up to the whole freaking industry. And now the question is, how do you monetize that? So I don't even care about the lead issue, like that. Yes, I can sell that, but I need to know that's a problem first. Because different business
Yeah,
owners, even with the same problem, there's a certain amount of solution awareness and predisposition to issues that they have. It's like I have clients that
totally.
use our 2 by 14 system and they don't, they customize it. Like I've given them, I was like, here, let me hand it off to you. And then they just don't use it. Or there's a ton of support that's involved. And it's like, dude, follow the damn lines, the dotted lines. And so every single business has you can't just hand something over necessarily. And every business has their own pain points. Some of them have cash flow challenges. Some of them are just burnt out. Some of them want your marketing. Some of them hate paid ads and they want to do SEO. And all you got to do is open up a conversation and it's a give. It's a give first. It's like, hey, can I have you verify your information, claim your listing so that we can send you resources, we can send you referrals.
So what do you want to show me? Like, did you build something for that in particular, or is that just your thesis of how I enter this
No,
market?
it's built. It's about to get launched on the marketing side. So you can have a little sneak
Can I
peek
see it? Can I see the preview? Yeah.
Yeah, shoot, we don't have a lot of time, but I have to tell you that this business, this vertical that I moved into, actually came from you.
From me?
Yeah, from you, dude.
So video's cool, but I have what scientists call a face for radio. And so what's even cooler is long form audio via my podcast and my newsletter, Nikonomicspod.com. Go there for free, subscribe to my newsletter. It's one email per week. It's super tactical. And then go to my audio podcast. I do 3 to 5 episodes a week, depending on how curious I am. And it's stuff like this. It's all free, no sleazy sales pitches, Nikonomicspod.com.
So remember you posted like a year ago, you're like, somebody gave you 100 grand. Would you build or buy? What would you build? And at the
Yeah,
time I was dealing with, we have hundreds, close to 500 clients a week that we see. And you've been in the billing space. It's out of control.
yep,
Primary, secondaries, who's the managed care plan, this, that. And you're just like, your AR goes crazy. And it's just noxious. And I was like, I looked at it and it's like
totally.
my clinicians cost a boat ton of money. I'm competing with venture capital funds. So our payroll keeps going higher to receive the same thing. And so margins get squeezed a little bit. It's still a damn good business, but it's challenging. And I was like, oh, you know what? Like, I like
Yeah.
ABA. ABA sounds really exciting. Like, instead of 450 clients, I can have 45 and I make the same amount of money at a better margin. And anybody can be a behavioral therapist. Like, this sounds amazing. And so I posted about that and how I'd build instead of buy because the marketing chops I have. And I actually have a client in ABA because of that. Guy reached out, started opening up a
No way.
conversation. Yeah, and so we've added millions of dollars in ARR in the ABA space. And we're talking about how do we go national? Like, what's the play? What's the so
That's
what?
amazing.
Yeah, so I
Dude,
owe,
that's okay. So David's while David's pulling that up, basically, I love the ABA space. And for those who don't know, ABA is applied behavioral analysis. It's for children who are on the spectrum, who have autism. What's crazy is I want to say when I was born, it was like 1 in 500 kids were diagnosed with autism. And just last year, it's now like 1 in 28. It's crazy, an insanely high number. And so these children need more and more services. And there's just simply not enough services for them to meet the demand. And they need people to help them understand how to navigate the real world, how to navigate their feelings. These kids are on a massive spectrum of, some of them are nonverbal and some of them are highly verbal, but it's growing like crazy. I think it's an amazing business. I think it's an amazing mission of a business. And so it's something I want to get into someday. That was what I posted about. But it's freaking cool to hear that you like took it and just ran with it.
yeah, it's funny. You just posted like, what vertical would you be in? That was what I posted. I just need to, I want to find one more thing. It's a little bit awkward.
Well, because I love businesses with tailwinds behind them. That's why I love healthcare, especially elder care, because our population is aging so fast and there's not enough demand to meet the supply. So you can kind of be anybody and be successful if you enter that space just because there's so much demand. I can ride the
Yep.
tidal wave. ABA is like that as well, right? Like there's so much demand. Honestly, when I was in healthcare, I didn't know what CAC was. I didn't know what LTV was. I didn't know about pay-per-click ads because we don't use those, at least in my home health and hospice. Like we don't acquire customers online. There's just so much demand that we kind of have to just go out physically and let people know that we exist, and then we get lots of patients. So
So funny because we're the opposite. Like we directories just drove everything for us. And I was like, there's the one biggest, most affordable directory. And everybody talks community outreach and Google Ads and all this stuff. And we did, I had a no index, no follow on my freaking homepage for 3 years. And I was just stupid. I just threw it up and I never came back to it. And I was just like, came back. I'm like, oh my goodness, rookie mistake 3 years later. And just we just got full.
amazing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, ABA is really big. You're doing something meaningful. It's recession proof. It's high revenue per client, very, very high revenue per client. Margins are defensible. It's a tough business from the insurance space, but again, other conversation. Bottom line, I love it and
Yeah.
I want to be in more and try to get my greedy little hands in. So, for me, a lot of it is a lot, the healthcare side, these practices, a lot of them aren't necessarily well run. And so I'm always looking for acquisition opportunities too. And even if it's not my own money, like go put something together and like, hey, let's do it. Single asset fund,
Yeah.
multi-asset fund. Go bring it to, people that are already in the industry. Bring it to new people. Like, there's so much wheeling and dealing, and it has so much more value than the agency side. So even if I don't get paid by
I agree.
by business owner, like this is gold. So the problem that
So
I've
you
had.
built an ABA directory?
Mhm.
Oh, I'm so excited. All right, sorry. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, you can go see it. It's live. So basically up until I tried the WordPress thing and Frey on YouTube and Ship Your Directory. Guy's awesome. He has a lot that he does around this. I don't plan on building a brand around the directory world. I need to be locked into what I do. But the WordPress side did not do it for me. I tried to get a guy to like build something unlovable disaster, just absolute disaster, overthought, and it's a pain. And I have development shops, but I was not going to give this to my developer. A, because,
Right.
lots of other things to do. B, is I want to kind of mess around with it myself. And so I got my tech stack done. You can see right here, I got it to a place where I scraped 12,000 plus ABA providers. I also downloaded all of their reviews from Google. Now,
Holy.
hopefully, maybe we have to delete this off of YouTube whenever Google starts getting nuts, but I'm not too worried. And so basically, I've been chatting with Windsurf. I've been using Windsurf and Claude Code with a whole bunch of things, and have
Wow.
built it in like the most. I'm not really a developer. I'm a fake developer. I have a developer that works for me, but he's front end. Like we've never always
Okay.
struggled with getting good back end enterprise guys. It's expensive as heck. And Claude Opus and Claude Code are like the last like month, it just nuts. Like I've messed around with this stuff for years, different ways, and like this is just I can be a dumbass, excuse my language, and it just can get built. So going to here, there's a lot here. So I have like a little matching quiz, and this is to generate leads.
Oh,
And
sweet.
again, there's still a
That's
little bit more
genius.
work, but it's pretty highly conversion optimized. You can literally just go into Claude or Windsurf and say, "Hey, look at this. Build me something like this." And so this is to get the lead for the prospective client. Again, this is not as clean as I'd like it. There are cleaner versions, but bottom line is it's super smooth, and this whole thing loads really, really quickly. And that took a bit of work, but again, Claude did all the heavy lifting. So let's just say right here. So on the tell me if I'm moving too quickly, by the way.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
No,
So
I love the quiz. I think that's a really cool identifier.
thank you. Thank you. So yeah, so basically I built this as front end and back end. I'll show you through the back end as well. But
Okay.
basically we scraped Google, we scraped all the reviews, we scraped all the providers. It's not perfect. You can see there's some speech and language in here. It's probably a little bit messy. There's some pediatrics, so it's not perfect. But it's definitely, the bottom line is here, this would be the picture if their Google Maps image was there. I guess there's an issue with the image, which happens. But bottom line is I have this massive thing. And so I have a listing. I have all of their reviews here. You can see all their reviews. You have more, you visit the website, find more providers. And then I have this little button and it says own this practice. And so basically, where this goal had been I guess I have to rebuild this. So basically, I was going to ask, this is going to be once again a sequential form. I have to just chat with Claude and we won't have time to go through and show you how I do that.
Is this live?
This is live. Go to
Are you
autismcarefinder.com.
getting traffic right now?
No, no. But again, my thing is cold email. But it's coming out this week. Literally going to go out cold email. Every single one of these providers, open up conversations. I don't need traffic because I can turn on traffic on a dime if I have a contract. I don't even necessarily have a business
What would you
model.
do to turn on traffic?
Facebook ads, Google ads. I can talk about the long
You would
term.
just start paying.
If there's margin in it, sure. Sign them, like tell somebody I have a directory, we get a client, we get leads.
Dude, I love the directory strategy that you have that's not just like, oh, I'm just going to get a lot of traffic. It's no, I'm going to build the directory, which is effectively going to be a marketplace for me to go and pick and choose which clients I want to work with. And then I'm going to cold email all the clients to tell them about the directory. They're going to go to the directory. I'm going to create some FOMO for them to effectively then reach out to me and say, hey, I'd like to rank higher on this. And like, you're both the chicken and the egg. Like you're creating both pieces to the equation. That's
But
a really
also, I
interesting
kind of
strategy.
adding real value. So I want to talk about the the midterm traffic play. So, because the things I
Sure.
think a lot of people get stuck, I'm in go mode, meaning I need to do something, I need to validate, come from poor person mindset. Like it's gotta crack up and show me that to validate it, that it makes sense. I'm not here to mess around because I've got lots of other things to do, and even though I'm working many long hours, I don't want to. So it's got to crack
Yeah.
out where there's an actual validation. So for me, I just want to get 30 to 40 30 to 40 sales calls out of this. 10,000 cold emails over 90 days. I want to see my response rates. I want to get it knocked out. And then I want to sell them what they need. Right? I'm planning on building like I want to get roll-ups out of this. Like to me, there's an opportunity for a national roll-up opportunity. I want to see, are there people that will say, hey, I'm looking for somebody to buy my business. Hey, the marketing side is an opportunity. Like all these things, I'm opening conversations. That's the biggest thing right here is get me on the phone to listen. Then on top of that, there is a traffic and a brand play. And that is the Facebook pages, Pinterest pages, social AI UGC, regular UGC. Like there's so Facebook groups. There's really is adding value. Like if you look at it like parents with children with autism, it becomes their whole life. It's all consuming. This is
Yeah.
all they eat, breathe, and live. And they're lonely. Like most people. They're
Yep.
like you're living in a bubble. Your friends don't understand how your life has been turned upside down. So by understanding the audience and being able to cater to it, it's just going to build its own traffic. And I just have to build wherever it is. And so the directory is a brand opportunity. So as an example, another fun thing that I've pushed into, I'm sorry, I hope I'm not running too far. This is a fun one.
No.
But basically, I built an AI chatbot. And so I took the whole, I'm almost done. I can show you the back end in a little bit. But basically, I built this off of Google Gemini. And this is all a chat embedding of all those reviews. And so the angle is this.
Wow.
The angle is that why, the gotchas, right? You do all this research, you spend all this time researching for a provider for X. You want to do home improvement, you're looking around, you're reading their reviews, you're talking to friends, you're doing all these things. And I can shortcut it. I've just downloaded 170,000 reviews, dump that into an embedding and say, hey, parent, what are you struggling with? How can I help you? And now I have real reviews to reference, real experiences, real stories. And again, I built normally that's a very high-end tech project and just built it with Windsurf.
Dude, that's incredible.
And again, this is all built by AI. Like I just gave it rough ideas and it works for me. Like I've got it all.
No, you're not only using AI to build a product, you're using AI to help you identify the pain points, your value proposition, how you're selling to people, what you're solving, like in non-traditional ways. Like that's a
Yes,
really cool way to think about it. It's like I'm going to go and scrape all the reviews to find their pain points. Like why would you not do that?
absolutely. And we use that when we run ads. We just scrape a ton of providers and then we use that to
Yeah.
build actual copy, which I'm not the only one that does it. But here, look at this. So there's like what's called a RAG embedding. So you're embedding all this
Yep.
information into the chatbot. I have this running through Gemini because to me, Google Gemini is the largest context window, fastest provider. They're just freaking blazing when it comes to loading things. And the biggest problem with AI is things just take time. I have this is built, I've been dying to have an excuse to build something with Google Gemini top to bottom, and I did it. And again, I didn't have to know so much of the technicals. So this is the model. And again, the traffic I'm going to build, but I want to wait to invest the time and the money into that and get the paying customers up front for whatever it is, anything
Dude,
that it is.
this is awesome. I really love the way that you're thinking about not only the business problem, creating the solution, but also how you bring customers to you as opposed to just relying on cold outreach. Like it's pretty cool the way that you've like used directories, which are these they've been around for a while, but they're this hot thing to talk about in AI right now. And you're using that as sort of a platform to launch a business. Like that's man, that's really cool. David, where's the best place for people to come find you?
So if it's okay, I'm just going to jump you through. We talked about the 2 by 14 and the follow-up issue. I'm going to run
Yeah,
you through
yeah.
this. Best place to find me. I'll drop a link on the homepage. But basically, my CRM platform, AI CRM is GrowNow.app. We have a model called the 2 by
Okay.
14, which follows up with people really quickly. So what I want to show you is the 28 messages that you're going to use to follow up for any of your businesses using SMS. Our platform uses that, layers in AI to personalize it to every single prospect, but we're basically hitting your pain points 28 different ways. So if you don't mind, I know we're running close on time. Can you give me a business name
Yep.
of any business you're interested in, and we'll just run through it and see how it works?
Fast tree care.
So tell me what the business type is, but specifically use as much as you can pre-built into the AI to tease it, to tell you about your value.
It's a tree trimming. It's a tree trimming business.
And what's cool about the tree trimming business?
What's cool about it?
Yeah, like what makes fast tree care better than any other tree trimming business?
We respond really quickly. We have a human touch.
I'm shortening this down. Your business type is tree trimming in a day. I'm just gonna make it
Okay.
up. Maybe it's not a day, but let's just make it up. And we're gonna I'll put my email, or one of my emails. We use this right now across thousands of leads in the legal vertical, which is very, very, very competitive. And they get hit with an AI bot that follows up with them after the lead form based on their an AI landing page where they share information. And then it's followed up with AI SMS. And then we hit them 28 times, twice a day, 14 days. Most of the time, when you deal with this follow-up process for most businesses, even when they have a call center, it's just obnoxious. People get really pissed off because they just, it feels like it's just cold. It's a, take. You know what, like you have basically like buyer's regret, buyer's remorse after filling out that form afterwards. Like, well, are they legit? Did I really do it? Should I really do it? I don't really want to talk on the phone. And so it creates a very obnoxious experience. Whereas when you text them and you show that you understand them, it's a game changer. So check this out. So I have a business sequence set up. We basically set up a business personalization question. Well, what's the main reason you're looking for it? Overgrown storm prep, HOA notice. How many trees are you concerned about? What are the pain points? Overgrown branches, blah, 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 blah. All these different things. Again, the AI made it up, and it's going to turn these into 28 different comments. All right. Ready?
Okay. Yep.
Are you reading this? So, hey, contact first name is Fast Tree Care. Saw you're looking into tree trimming. What's the biggest headache with your trees? All right, here we go. Morning to AM message. Morning. A lot of people we help are just tired of looking at messy trees. Is that kind of how you're feeling? Hey, when you look at your trees, what's the number one thing you wish was different? Just curious.
Dude, this is awesome.
And yeah, so it goes through. Again, this is 28 messages. At the end of the day, like at some point, prospect cries uncle, and you're the only one they're talking to. So anyways, I'll have this on GrowNow.app on the homepage that people can fill out. But the biggest thing, again, that's the personalization. One of the many things we do with AI on top of the directory.
All right. Hopefully you liked that episode. And if you've made it this far, you're either really committed or you're stuck doing yard work and you can't actually skip on your phone. So while I have you, the show is growing, but I have a favor to ask of you. Will you please help me grow the show? I want to reach more people. There's a couple things that you can do. Like and subscribe is the simplest thing. Obviously, you want to get notifications for when the next episode is coming out. But if you go the next step, will you leave me a review? 5-star on Spotify or Apple. What that does is it tells the algorithm that, oh, hey, this is a high value podcast because more people are leaving reviews for it, and it then pushes it out to more people. So that's why when people are like, will you like and subscribe and put a 5-star rating? It's not just to make themselves feel better. It's actually to get more exposure for the show. So if you do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.